All right, well, welcome everybody. My name's John Pope. I'm the Communications Director here at Long Beach City College. And for our first order of business, I would like to call up one of our student veterans and President's Ambassador, Andrew McVeigh, to lead us in the pledge. Andrew?
All right, thank you. It's an honor. Repeat after me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. All right, thank you, Andrew. And now I am pleased to call up our MC and host for this afternoon's event, our Acting Superintendent President, Anne Marie Gable. Let's give her a hand. All right, it's all yours.
Thanks, John. Well, good afternoon. We finally got some sunny sunshine in Southern California, and I will say I think it's a little bit too warm this morning, but that's okay. So it's my pleasure to welcome you all to our campus today for this groundbreaking ceremony for our wonderful Building P. First off, I would like to introduce the members of our Board of Trustees and other elected officials and dignitaries who are with us today. So we have our Board President, Dr. Jenny Baxter. Our Board Vice President, Jeff Kellogg. Board Member Vivian Malaulu. And Board Member Sunny Zia. And from the city of Signal Hill, Mayor Lori Woods, who was successfully reelected last night. So we need to congratulate Lori on her reelection. And then we have some representatives from the offices of state and local officials. So we have a representative from Assemblymember Patrick O'Donnell, and a representative from Long Beach Council member Lena Gonzalez. From our Long Beach City College Citizens Oversight Committee, we have a current Citizens Oversight Committee member, John Gotts, and one of our previous Citizens Oversight Committee, Ms. Lexi Donovan. And lastly, I would like to introduce members of my team. Dr. Terry Long, our Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Elizabeth Miller, our Interim Vice President of Administrative Services. And Dr. Greg Peterson, Vice President of Student Support Services. So next, it's my privilege to introduce our board president, Dr. Virginia Baxter. Dr. Baxter started her career at LBCC in 1970 by teaching U.S. history. She also served as the Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, Women's Advisor, before taking the role as the LBCC Foundation Executive Director. In 2016, Dr. Baxter retired from the LBCC Foundation after many successful years. She was elected to our Board of Trustees in 2014, and we are very fortunate to have her continued service to our college and community as the Board Trustees President. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Baxter to the podium.
Thank you, Anne Marie. They're going to kill me, but I'm going to go off a little bit. Do you notice that little, no, John won't kill me. Do you notice the little ticket window over there? See with the iron, wrought iron cover? This room used to be a theater. And that must have been where they sold the tickets in 1935 when this building was built. And they had shows here. And Lee, I'm not taking away from you because I'm not sure that you would be aware of this, but being a historian, I think about these things. But people like Barbara Britton, who was Mrs. North and Mr. and Mrs. North, that's my youth. All kinds of fame. Robert Mitchum, believe it or not, went to school here, but like for one semester. That's why he's not in the Hall of Fame. plus he's deceased. But anyway, this building has tremendous historic memories for me, and unfortunately, I've lived long enough that they are memories for me. But thank you, President Gable. On behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome you to the Long Beach City College Liberal Arts Campus. Today, we celebrate the renovation of Building P, which will be an improved home for our English department. Building P will add to the new and remodeled buildings at both campuses through the college's Building and Modernization Program. I want to thank the local voters and taxpayers for their strong support of Long Beach City College. Local voters approved of 3 local bond measures, and the first 2 bonds enabled us to make significant progress toward modernizing the campus. And most recently, the $850 million Measure LB bonds, passed in June, will allow us to finish the great work that was started. This is an incredible investment and a strong testament to the ongoing support of the Long Beach, Signal Hill, Lakewood, Avalon community, all of whom voted for this measure. I had to get that in, Lori, for you, so you can go back to the City Council. These changes will allow the college to continue to meet the needs of our students as the demands of our economy and society change. LBCC has been the catalyst for success in many students in many generations. With these new facilities, we are setting the stage for success for a future generation. Thank you for joining us here today to celebrate this important milestone at Long Beach City College.
Thank you, Dr. Baxter. One of the things I would like to do, I see quite a few of our English faculty here in the audience. So if you guys could just wave and be acknowledged for as our English faculty. Thank you so much for being here. And we're renovating this building so that you guys will have better classroom space in order to teach our students. So as acting superintendent president, I also want to give my thanks to the community for supporting LBCC by approving Measure LB last year, as well as the previous Measure E bonds. Long Beach City College will soon be celebrating our 90th anniversary. And while our commitment to provide academic excellence has remained intact since 1927, the same can't be said of our original buildings. Originally called the English Building, Building P was the first permanent building constructed when this campus opened in 1935. When we return here next year, we'll be standing in front of a renovated Building P, which will include 5 classrooms, 1 computer lab, a multi-purpose room, 2 media rooms, a digital newsroom for the Viking newspaper, and 12 offices. It will be upgraded to meet current building codes, including accessibility, seismic, and fire alarm upgrades. Building P also will receive upgrades to the audio-visual and information technology systems and the exterior courtyard, or interior courtyard, because it's encapsulated in the walls of the building here, which you can't see. This building will be upgraded with modern technology and a more functional facility that will provide our faculty and staff with the tools they need to assist our students to achieve their academic goals. These renovations to Building P could not have happened without your support of this great college. Thank you again for being here today to support LBCC. Now I'm honored to introduce Dr. Terry Long, our Vice President of Academic Affairs.
Thank you, President Gable. I'm delighted to join you today as we celebrate the renovation of Building P. This building has been the home of our English department, which is composed of the composition, creative writing, journalism, and literature programs. Building P will give our faculty and students a modern facility while preserving critical elements of one of the most historic buildings on campus. I'd like to take a moment to share some of the wonderful accomplishments of the faculty who teach in this building, or who taught in this building. Our English department has been very innovative in finding new ways to help our students achieve their educational goals more quickly while maintaining high academic standards. For example, we now offer our students 3 alternative pathways: a traditional pathway, a compressed pathway, and an accelerated pathway. The English department's English course pathways and English major programs help students gain more confidence in their English skills and allow them to enter college-level English classes sooner and achieve associate degrees for transfer that prepare them for advanced degrees at other institutions. This building also houses our award-winning journalism program. Last year, our journalism students received several awards from statewide conferences, but this is nothing new for our award-winning Viking. Students from the Viking newspaper and the City Magazine received individual awards for several categories, including on-the-spot writing competitions, photos, and layouts. The Viking also received the California Newspaper Publishers Association's highest prize, the Newspaper General Excellence Award. Only 4 colleges in the state received this recognition. Many of our students have also gone on to successful journalism careers, including popular press telegram columnist and LBCC Hall of Fame recipient Tim Grabady. We also sponsor our own annual competitions like the Jacaranda Endowment Essay Contest and the Donald Drury Award for Creative Writing. I, too, want to take a moment to recognize our English department faculty and department staff who are here today. So a second shout out to you. Please join me in thanking them for all the work they do on behalf of our students. I would also like to recognize the English department head, Dr. Rodney Rodriguez. Rodney? And the Dean of Language Arts and Communication, Lee Douglas. We look forward to the reopening of Building P next year to begin a new, exciting chapter in the history of this facility and our college. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Long. So now it's my pleasure to invite the last speaker today up to the podium, Lee Douglas, our Dean of Language Arts and Communication Studies.
Thank you, President Gable. It's my pleasure to join you today. As you've already heard, the English department is extremely proud of Building P and the amazing history behind it. Our faculty members are excited about the renovations, but also pleased that this project will preserve much of the historic architecture of this building. Building P was designed by 20th century architect Kirtland Cutter. It was one of his final projects after more than 40 years of designing hundreds of homes, hotels, and offices in California and the Northwest. He also designed a pavilion for the 1892 World's Fair in Chicago. A Long Beach school that he had designed collapsed in the 1933 earthquake. So the 1934 plans for this building were especially conscious of seismic issues. Let me tell you, this is a very sturdy building. The strength of the building has actually been a challenge for today's architects as they have tried to figure out how to move walls and reconfigure the classrooms. As President Gable mentioned, Building P was the only completed building when the campus opened in 1935. So early campus-wide events took place in Building P's courtyard. The courtyard is the oldest space in the campus for public gatherings of all types. I'm happy to say that many things we love about Building P will be preserved. For example, the high ceiling, wooden paneling, decorated beams, and windows of the current theater room, also known as the Marion Sims Bond Literary Center, will all be carefully saved throughout the renovation. I would like to take this opportunity to thank, again, faculty member Jeff Wheeler. Jeff, will you please stand? Who has posted and provided a lot of the building's history on his blog. Many of the vintage photos that you see on display today have been provided by Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for a great contribution to our campus history and pride. On behalf of the faculty and staff of our English department and the School of Language Arts and Communication, thank you for being here today. I look forward to seeing all of you back here in the fall as we cut the ribbon for the new Building P. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Douglas. So as we close this ceremony, I'd like to thank several key people who played vital roles and worked very hard to bring the vision of a 21st century instructional facility to the start of construction. And so on behalf of the college, I'd like to thank our Citizens Oversight Committee for their oversight of our bond program, Eric Berg, Sharon Diggs Jackson, Randy Gordon, John Gotts, Joan Greenwood, Eric Mazaragos, Elaine McDaniel, David C., and Stella Ursua. Our facilities team, under the leadership of Tim Wooten and Menhani Ephraim, who helped with this project and all of our construction projects. Steinberg Architects and our general contractor, A&B Construction, for their work on this project. And the members of the bond management team, George Pla and Terrence DeGray, and everyone else from the Cordoba Corporation. I would also like to thank all the staff from LBCC who worked on putting together today's event. And most importantly, thanks to all of you for being here today. You are now welcome to enjoy some refreshments located at the tables along the pathway. And now I invite the board and other members, the board president and the other members of our board, along with Mayor Wood, Vice President Long, and Dean Douglas, to join me in a photograph for our groundbreaking.